Football is the game. It's the last weekend of the English Premier League, so this is our last chance to cash. We had a full slate of games at 11:30. 1 hour from now, we're gonna pick them all apart in effort to try to win big. Football is the game. Na 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 na. This is our last soccer show until August, when we'll be back. It's been a lot of fun this season here on the Friday Soccer Paycheck. And it is Sunday, Memorial Day weekend special edition, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, May the 28th, 2023, from the blustery, windy, chilly shorelines of Virginia Beach, Virginia, the United States of America. I feel like soccer should be breaking out in our backyard here at the Chicks Beach Studios, as we have your typical gloomy British weather. While over there in the UK, sunny, warm, and on a weekend that is known for lots of goals, the very final week of the English Premier League traditionally, where every game averages nearly 3.5 goals a game, we have perfect conditions to do so with all that today. And we're going to break it all down here for just about the next hour as we have kickoff in the UK on this final weekend in just 57 minutes time. And that is it, guys. This is our last chance. So to summarize the season, let's just kind of look back and reflect, because I feel like we haven't had a good winning week here. In the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, we've been somewhat close, but we have not hit that real hard nail into the coffin here for a great, successful soccer season. Definitely a weird year at the World Cup. So we've had to negotiate around that. In fact, after the World Cup was probably our best run there in January, February, March here on the Soccer Paycheck. Leading up to the World Cup, we just didn't get any goals. Nice days too, great weather for it. They just never came. But we've had some good wins here along the way, and we hope to finish it all off today with one grand finale. So there is a lot to get into. The ticker is not at the bottom. Let me go ahead and get the ticker up there. There we go. The CP Shuckers Deep End ticker. All the games are kicking off at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the teams promoted from the championship, we now have all those figured out. We don't know who's going to be relegated quite yet. We'll get into that here in a second. But the 3 teams promoted from the championship were Burnley and Sheffield with their outright promotions. And then Luton Town won it through their mini tournament, 6-5 in penalty kicks over Coventry. That happening yesterday, of course, in a great, fun game at Wembley Stadium. And Luton Town, with the neighbors who can watch the game from their backyards in that 10,000-seat stadium, are going to be up in the English Premier League. Now, apparently they'll have to do some renovations to the stadium or move or something. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But Luton Town, a great story. Smaller club. They've fought their way through that tournament. And after a nice, consistent championship season, which there was no consistency in the championship, let's be honest, Luton Town comes out and grabs the 3rd available spot for promotion. Okay, let's get into it. One last look at the table, as we do every time here on the Friday Soccer Paycheck special Sunday edition. Oh, how about this, guys? Before we get to the table, special broadcasting announcement as well. The Round Robin, our flagship show, which covers the NFL basically, and we'll talk a little other stuff here and there. Of course, Nephew Dave, a part of that. The Ant-Man, Dave Del Grande, a huge contributor from the San Francisco Bay Area. So we'll have him back on as well. But the round robin returns Tuesday, June the 27th at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be the round robin drive time. So when you're driving home from work, you can go ahead and tune us on for the hour, and we'll get you updated on everything that's going on in that moment. So that could be baseball, NASCAR we'll get into a lot for sure, and football, as we will be right on the cusp of training camps there and whatever news is breaking. So we'll start the week right before the 4th of July. We'll carry you through the 4th of July baseball. We'll situate you with some NASCAR, and then we'll be around for whatever else. College football we can definitely dive into as well. So we'll look forward to having fun with that show. First things first, let's have a good last Friday soccer paycheck special Sunday edition. Okay, top of the table, Manchester City clinches. How about this? They're now 8 points above Arsenal. So was it even that close? For as long as we were. Manchester City, by virtue of a draw with Brighton, which gets Brighton into European football. Manchester City won it last Sunday, so the Brighton game had nothing to do with it. But by virtue of Arsenal's loss to Nottingham, that was an automatic clincher for Manchester. So by the time they took the field on Sunday against Chelsea, they were already crowned champions, and then they just had an easy path. 1-0 win over Chelsea, and they got the trophies and all their medals and ribbons after that. So Manchester City, once again, your English Premier League champions. So Arsenal finishes in second with 81 points. Still a nice season for them. 35 wins, just 6 draws and 6 losses. You would think that would be good enough to win, right? But not so much. Not so much for Arsenal as they fall to Manchester City down the stretch. Manchester United, guaranteed Champions League. So they're in 72 points. Newcastle, guaranteed Champions League. They are in with 70 points. Liverpool, guaranteed for Europa League, 66 points for them. Brighton, by virtue of their draw with Manchester City, gets European football, 62 points. And there's a battle for one last spot here, Aston Villa and Tottenham. So Aston Villa at home, Tottenham on the road. We're going to get into all these games. Aston Villa with a win or a Tottenham loss gets European football. And Aston Villa, we got to give them good props on the season. 17 wins, 13 losses, 7 draws. I feel like they won more than that, right? But they started off really, really slow for sure. They turned it around tremendously, and for them to get up into 7th spot after the managerial change from Gerrard says a lot about them. And as if we've had a cash cow on the show this year, it has been Aston Villa. And probably the one thing we did do is we said it when they were a bad team. We said, look out for these guys. They're not so bad, maybe. And they definitely turned it around and were able to be a big part of our success this year. Tottenham, they've been a letdown. They'll try to win today. If they can get a win and Aston Villa just draws out against Brighton, then Tottenham will actually jump into that final European spot. Brentford, they have a chance for European football as well, actually, with 56 points. So if they win, Tottenham and Aston Villa both go down, then Brentford is up there. So they have something to play for as well. Big game for them as they host Man City. And we'll see what kind of lineup we have. I was trying to look at the lineups here, and the big reason why we came on live today is that we want to see who's actually on the field. We give some legit player props. All these lineups change by the week, right up until kickoff. But now we should have a fresh look of whoever's going to start these games, and that will give us a help here with some things that we want to do. So Brentford and Man City, we'll see what kind of team Man City feels when we get to that game. Fulham, 10th spot, 52 points. Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Wolverhampton, 11, 12, and 13 with 44, 43, 41. West Ham safe with 40 points. Bournemouth safe in 15th spot with 39 points. Great job by them to stay up. Nottingham Forest, great job by them to stay up. They're officially good, 37 points for them. And here it is, 3 teams fighting it out for the right to stay in the Premier League. 2 teams will be disappointed. One, at the end of the day, will be completely satisfied of, no matter how bad the season went, the fact that they will be able to play Premier League football again next year. So the 3 teams fighting for the 1 spot today, and this is your big drama, is Everton. They're safe with 33 points. Leicester and Leeds. Leicester 31, Leeds 31. So what Leeds needs is basically, it looks like they need a win, and it looks like that they need a draw with Everton and Leicester, and it looks like Leeds needs to score goals as well. So that's going to be the only way that they're going to survive, if they can put up a big-time score and win with a goal differential against Tottenham. Southampton, I don't know how many games they've lost in a row at this point. I only see 5, but I know it goes beyond that, more than likely. But they've only had 6 wins on the year, 6 draws, 25 losses. Southampton officially relegated and heading for the championship. Okay, so that's your drama. Who's going to get into European football? Who's going to be relegated? And on a nice, warm, sunny day in the UK, who's going to get us a lot of goals? Because it is the last week. The philosophy is this, people. You kind of take it easy a little bit. If you're going to take it easy, you're going to take it easy on defense. You're going to go out there and have some fun here on this final week, which means offensive point scoring, goal scoring can be good and phenomenal, hopefully, in some cases. We have picks on the Twitter at DeepEnd, DeepEnd 757 at DeepEnd 757. Go check out the Twitter. Nephew Dave has some crazy stuff up there already. I have my picks as well with correct scores. I have not done my goal scorer props yet, but I definitely have everything that I like. I got a pick on every game for this scenario today. Some more than others for sure. But we're going to fire our shots today. Last chance. We're going to fire some bullets. Let's see what happens. Okay, we'll start from the top of the list. Arsenal, 11:30 a.m. Again, all these games 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Host the Wolves. Arsenal is minus 390. The Wolves are plus 900. And the draw is at a plus 500. My text hotline is hot and heavy here. Let me just make sure that let me just make sure we're coming in loud and clear. It sounds like that we are. We have listeners out there saying hi. All right. So Arsenal, second place team. The Wolves, they've been a feisty team all year. Let's see who we have as a lineup. I'm going to have to go to my phone for this stuff, because I don't want to break off the screen. Let's see. For Arsenal, who's going to be in there? All right, so we got a pretty good slate. No Martinelli. He's not going to be around today. But we have Trossard, we have Saka, we have Jesus, we have Odegaard, we have Granit Xhaka. It looks like a very good side put out there by Arsenal. As far as the Wolves go, let's look at their lineup here today. Here we go. Raul Jimenez, Hang Hee Chan will be up there. Traore, he'll be in there. Nunez is good to go. Nelson Semedo, Gomes. Let's see. So the players that will not be in there is Ruben Neves. So avoid him. Babacar Traore, Adama Traore, the fast guy, he's in there. So avoid Babacar Traore. It looks like no Daniel Pedence at all. No Pedro Neto at all. So you won't see them listed. Okay. But Chan has scored some good goalie props. Let's talk about the props first if we're talking about players, because I expect goals in this game for sure. More so probably for Arsenal. I think Arsenal is going to try to go off on a positive note. They've had such a great season. The Wolves, as feisty as they are at defense and as good of a season as they have had, they're just not in the class with Arsenal. They just aren't. So it's really how much does Arsenal really kind of try in this last game in front of their fans? You got to think that they're going to try a lot. So I would take anything with over goals for Arsenal for sure. They're going to try to make this a good end of the season. I think correct score. I think I have anything like 3-1, 4-0, 4-1. All that is fair game for Arsenal to win by a couple goals. Can the Wolves get 2 goals? Absolutely. Could this be a 4-2 game? I could definitely see that for sure. So look anything on that kind of crazy route. As far as goal scorer props go here, I think we're going to take Odegaard and Trossard here for sure. Let's see. Goals. So under goal scorer, kind of a pet peeve here. You can't get the 2 goal scorers or the hat trick. But if you click over to goals, you get the 2 goal scorers or the hat trick. Why would it not be available on the goal scorers, but available on the goals if you're talking about a goal scorer, right? Kind of weird, if that makes sense. Okay, hey, for 2 goals, that's what I'm looking at since Arsenal is going to score here. So Odegaard at plus 900 or Trossard at plus 650 would be the one of the 2 angles I would look at. Saka not in the greatest form at plus 650 for him. Jesus could be the one to be honest, at plus 460. So any of those guys, I think Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard, or Martin Odegaard will be a goal scorer. I would expect Arsenal even to be able to get a couple first half goals here. Home team over 2.5 goals is just minus 108. Over 3.5 plus 260. You're not getting rewarded. I mean, this is telling you this low number that Arsenal is going to put up some goals. And you got to just wonder what kind of effort you're going to get from the Wolves to be able to get into the back of the net against these world-class Arsenal players. But if the Wolves can get 2 goals, plus 360 is a nice price for that. I can't completely roll it out if they're going to be a little bit lackadaisical on defense, especially when you have Adama Traore with his speed. There's always a chance for him on the breakaway. He just has not been the best finisher to get the ball in the back of the net is the main thing with him. But I would look at goals in this game for sure. If you want to take a little side piece of over 1.5 goals for the Wolves, I think you can. There is definitely a risk, but the payout is nice at plus 360. That's not the surest thing. But I think Arsenal definitely gets theirs. And as far as a total aggregate conglomeration of the 2, over 4.5, I think, is in play. And I think over 5.5 is in play, too. So over 4.5 goals, if we can rewind all back to that, wherever that is. Here we go. Over 4.5 plus 260 again. That's just a low price. I mean, I think that's really telling you there's going to be a lot of goals in this game. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's like 7-1 Arsenal either or something like that, to be honest. Plus 620 is over 5.5 goals. So we have a lot of good numbers on this game. So Arsenal Wolves, fair game, Arsenal props with their goal scorers, Trossard, Jesus, or Odegaard, and Arsenal goals for sure. And don't be afraid to shy away. The Wolves at plus 900 would not be a play. I would say that. Next game on the board, Aston Villa and Brighton. Aston Villa minus 130. So this price has jumped through the roof here in the last 20 minutes, really. They were at even money, plus 100. And then in front of my eyes, minus 105, then to minus 110. And now all the way up to minus 130 on Aston Villa. So everyone is jumping on board the Aston Villa train against Brighton. Brighton plus 290, the draw plus 310. Here's the deal. Brighton got in their European football, and they're probably still hungover, literally, from their celebration just a couple of days ago. I think that was on Wednesday. So they could still be feeling the effects of that. If those bloody blokes took their booze to another level, which I'm sure they did. So I would look at Aston Villa here for sure to win this game. I had them straight. I had them in goal props. Do they get to 2.5 goals is the question, but that's not even paying that good for them. To be honest today, these bookmakers are on it, really. So over 2.5 goals for Aston Villa is at, first half is plus 1,400. Home team over 2.5 goals. It's just plus 196. So even that has gone down. It was plus 230. So how many times does Aston Villa really get 3 goals? They on our run, they've done well. They've gotten 2 goals a lot. But this is just telling you these numbers, and this is probably actually likely to happen. As far as the lineups go for players, it's going to be the Brighton lineup is who we want to see here. So, and Ciso is in. He's a good player. Evan Ferguson is in. Alexis McAllister. So it looks like to me Brighton is definitely going with a little bit of a second team here. There's no Matoma. He's going to start on the bench. Calcedo on the bench. Good game for him. He scored last game as well. So not a full-on Brighton attack. While Aston Villa, they're going to have everyone. There's our man Leon Bailey. There's Ollie Watkins. There's Jacob Ramsey. Matty Cash is in there. Tyrone Mings on defense still in there. Anyone really left on the bench that we want to note? Not really. Bertrand to Traore. There's a lot of Traores in the EPL. There are a lot of Traores. Traore, Traore with that little accent above it. So Aston Villa full on. We're going to take Leon Bailey for the goal scorer here today. Let's see what his price pays. But it's all Aston Villa all day here. They've been our golden nugget. Why would we deviate from that at any point now? We want to stick with our guns. We're not going to break stride. And we will, again, I got to click on goals to get to the 2 goal scorers. Leon Bailey plus 1,200 for 2 goals. But plus 220 at 1 goal. I do like that. And Ciso at plus 280 for a goal is nice too. That's a good price, actually. I would maybe look at that. That a little bit better than Leon Bailey. Undav plus 360 for Brighton. He's a good player. He's liable to score for Brighton, to be honest. Denise Undav, now that he's getting the opportunity. That actually might be something that we look at because I think Brighton can actually get a goal or 2 here. But I just think Aston Villa is going to get more. This has 3-2 written on it. 3-1, maybe even 4-2. But Aston Villa with the motivation to win at home to get European football, I think that is a huge thing today. And I think Brighton, the fact that they're still celebrating their European football and they've mentally checked out for the season for the most part. You'll get a good effort from their backups because they are well coached and a good team. But I think Aston Villa is a little too much for Brighton today. All right. Brentford and Man City. Interesting game. Plus 230 for Brentford. When do you ever see Man City as a plus 110 favorite? But they are today at Brentford. Plus 250 for the draw. Brentford, hey, no Ivan Toney, but that has not slowed them down. They've been a nice team. The fact that they have a chance to play European football today, with a win today and some help, says a lot about them. So they've been very nice since they've been promoted here just a couple of years back. But Man City at plus 110, you just never see that. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what the lineups are. Of all the games, this is the one game where the lineup I am the most interested in. Let's see what Man City has out there. All right, so Riyad Mahrez, Cole Palmer, Julian Alvarez, Rico Lewis, Sergio Gomez, Phil Foden, Calvin Phillips, Kyle Walker, Americ Laporte, Nathan Ake, and Ederson are the players. So on the bench will be everyone. Holland, of course, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, John Stones, Ilkay Gundogan. But they are all fair game. But here's the goal scorer that you want to watch today in this game. Julian Alvarez is a beast for Man City. So he is going to get at least a goal. He might get 2 goals as well. So he's the one player we're going to look at first is Julian Alvarez. He is a sensational player. I mean, he might be the best player on any other team except for the fact that he's on Man City. Alvarez anytime goal is plus 200, which is not a bad price at all, but 2 goals is plus 1,100. We're going to jump all over that today. Why not? Man, if you like Brentford, though, to win this game, Johan Wissa at 20-1 for 2 goals is a great price. In fact, he's plus 290. We might have to do something with that today as well for Wissa to score. He's been all over it. Phil Foden, anytime goal scorer, plus 310. I would expect him to score too, to be honest. So this could be a little fun same game parlay. In fact, Alvarez, Wissa, and Foden, all 3 of those guys to score, 10 pays 376. So that's not too bad. And what I think should be another high-scoring game, to be honest. That could be a 3-3 game, 4-2 game. I think Brentford gets a goal or 2 for sure. But I think Man City has a chance, even with the players that they have. This second team can go out there and ball. They are still better than most other English Premier League teams. So I would expect Man City goals as well. They're going to want to finish their season strong. These guys need to show coach, especially for Champions League, that they want to get on the field. So a little bit of motivation for the players on there to get time if their names get called here in the Champions League. So Alvarez, Julian Alvarez will look for anytime goal scorer. We like Johan Wissa as well, Foden as well. So goals in this game for sure. Pick your number, to be honest. Anywhere up to 4.5, 5.5. All right. So, you know what? Man City, too, for their goals. Just so you know, like, you never get prices this low. Away team over 2.5 is plus 360 for Man City to just get over 2.5 goals. Over 1.5 is plus 110. I mean, that's as about as a lock as you could get, I would think, even with that team. Even with the main team sitting in the second strings in. So everything fair game here. I think most goals are fair game here, to be honest, too. Chelsea and Newcastle. Newcastle, they're excited. They're still probably a little hungover. Chelsea, you know they want to go off on a good note. They're home in front of their fans as well. So conditions setting up for goals in this game, I think, too. Plus 175 for Chelsea, plus 130 for Newcastle. In fact, Chelsea was plus 200, so this line has moved. They've dropped to plus 175, so the money is coming in on Chelsea. Let's see who we have for a lineup here. Let's see. For Chelsea, Loftus-Cheek, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling, Conor Gallagher, Azpilicueta, all in there. Let's see. Joao Felix not in there. Koulibaly on the bench, although he hasn't been that good. Christian Pulisic on the bench. So this is not anything different from what you would normally see Chelsea do as far as a lineup goes. Newcastle playing today. Let's see who they got in here. Almiron's out there. He's a good player. St. Maximum, Alexander Isak. This is a nice attacking front there for Newcastle. Callum Wilson on the bench. We'll note that. Trippier is in there. So Wilson on the bench. And I don't know if it's injury or not. Kind of tells you that Newcastle's not fully invested, but they have good players, and they do have a deep bench, and they are a good team. So they're going to be motivated to score the players that are out there. I think this is another over game, especially in the nice weather today, for sure, as we are now 20 minutes to kick off, 29 minutes to kick off here on the final day of the EPL. Over goals here. And, 2-2 is what I kind of correct scored this, but I'm not going to be shocked if Chelsea wins. Not going to be shocked if Newcastle wins. Either way, 3-2. But over 3.5 goals is plus 138. Over 4.5, plus 330. I just think you see goals again, especially that Newcastle attacking front three. They do have some good goal scorers there. So as far as those guys go, let's see, go. Anytime goal scorer, Alexander Isak plus 175, Kai Havertz plus 210, Sterling plus 250, Almiron plus 300, Alan St. Maximum plus 300, Gallagher plus 500. I like Almiron at plus 300. I think that's fair for an anytime goal scorer today. So we'll ring him up on the card for Miguel Almiron. He is actually due as well, and he's been attacking the net. So I think he's just due for a goal. So we'll look for Almiron to score for Newcastle today. All right, 11:30, Crystal Palace and Nottingham. Palace taking money as their line's up to now minus 180 to draw plus 310. Nottingham Forest plus 470. Again, this is another hangover game. Nottingham Forest happy to have escaped relegation. They are completely satisfied for where they stand in the universe. They will be able to compete one more year here in the English Premier League. So they are good to go. Crystal Palace, they just want to finish strong in front of their fans. And then again, you might see some easier defense today because teams are taking it off. I would trust instead of a straight over for goals here, you just got to lean on Crystal Palace. They're going to score at home. Let's take a look at their lineup. Let's see who's playing for them. The one player I have in mind is Eze because he's in great form and he is out there. So he's starting today. Let's see. No Wilfred Zaha, so he's hurt. And let's see, Edwards in there. Elise, Joe Ward. Okay, so we like Eze to score today. He's going to be the most profound goal scorer on that team out there, I think, today. Right, really on the field as a whole. Let's see, Gibbs White, Brennan Johnson, they were all playing for Nottingham. On the benches, Jesse Lingard. So maybe not even a full complement of Nottingham Forest players. Crystal Palace, they want to put on a show for their fans, pure and simple at home. So you got to lean on them. And again, this is one of those lines that is just low. So you just kind of think it's going to happen, to be honest. Over 2.5 goals for Crystal Palace is never plus 240. It would really be plus 360, plus 370, something like that. But you're getting plus 240 only on Crystal Palace. So I think they score today. I think they score. In fact, they could be the one team you could do the spread on. -2 or plus 470. I don't know if I'm completely happy with. -1 is only plus 175. Oh, man. I mean, this just is looking like a Palace win at home. Final day, let's party. Nottingham Forest hungover. Let's gain one for the fans here and put all your trust in Crystal Palace today. Even a straight play, if you're going to do some crazy long parlays of teams just to win, I think Crystal Palace, you almost have to throw them in there automatically. All right, Everton and Bournemouth. Everton minus 185, a huge favorite over Bournemouth, plus 470, where I think Bournemouth is definitely the better team. I just don't know their motivation, where Everton is completely motivated to avoid relegation here in a must-win scenario. So this could be tight. Bournemouth maybe not motivated. Of all the games that I said I had plays on, I actually do not. I lied. And this is the game that I do not have a play on. I think this is a complete pass with Everton or Bournemouth. Now, you guys out there might like Everton because they need it. But if they were that good, would they be in this position in the first place? The answer is no. I would almost be priced in on Bournemouth, to be honest. Let's see who's playing for them. Because really it's all about Dominic Solanke, who's in there, and Philip Billing, who is in there. So we'll look at actually those guys on their goal props. If we do one thing, it will be a goal scorer, I guess. So goals, anytime goal scorer here in this game. Solanke is plus 300. And Billing is plus 440. Wow. So a Billing goal at plus 440 against a bad Everton defense who gives up goals from deep as well. I think that's a good angle, to be honest. Philip Billing, one of the players we've liked here in the second half of the season, plus 440. I think you can try to hammer that home all day for sure. So we'll pass on that game, but we'll take Billing as a goal scorer. This is a be careful what you wish for nephew Dave game. Leeds plus 170. Underdogs at home against Tottenham, who is also plus 130. And the draw is plus 290. So how about this? Harry Kane has 9 goals on the final day of the season. And I'm going to expect him to score today. Is this Harry Kane's last game for Tottenham? That's a question as well. I think he puts up a superb effort. He's plus 550 for 2 goals, and I think you lock that in, to be honest. Leeds cannot get in on a goal differential scenario. They're not going to be able to outscore Tottenham, even if Leeds gets their goals. I'm not going to trust them at all, though, and I'm going to trust just Harry Kane alone here. And, I think Tottenham can score some goals. Away team today over 2.5 is plus 300. So that's as good as it will get on Tottenham. Over 3.5 goals is plus 900. That's a great price on Tottenham to blow out Leeds today. Where Leeds really needs this bad, along with help that they probably will not get. I guess they might get it. But at plus 900 for Tottenham to get to 4 goals against Leeds, that might be actually worth a shot. I missed that on my initial forecast look through. That's a good price. So Tottenham, Harry Kane goals today, as we're now 22 minutes until kickoff. We got 3 games left, and we'll do a quick review. Leicester and West Ham is the other relegation game that we have on the slate, mainly for Leicester, not West Ham, as they are safe. Plus 100, Leicester are the favorites. West Ham plus 220, which is a good price for a good team. Let's see who's playing here for West Ham. And they did win Europa. So it's not like, even they've been kind of towards the bottom of the pits of the EPL, it's not like they're completely garbage. Antonio, Pablo Fornals, Syed Benrahma, no Thomas Souček, no Jared Bowen. So West Ham not playing a full complement of players, no Danny Ings. All those players are on the bench. Fabianski is in goal. For Leicester, they will go with Harvey Barnes, James Madison, Kelechi Iheanacho. Drewsbury Hall makes his return. Yuri Tielemans is in there. No Jamie Vardy. That would be the one key. He's going to be on the bench. So no Jamie Vardy to start this game. Don't bet him until you see him on the field. He'll get a better price than anyway by the time he gets in there. So Leicester, West Ham, I would just expect goals in this game again. I think they could climb to a crazy number just because Leicester is a wide open team as it is. They are wide open, letting you score, and they can score some goals themselves, although they really haven't done it lately. And West Ham has been able to score goals. They're on one of their better score runs. You could definitely see a wonky score here. So plus 3,300 at a 3-3 draw, or even 2-2 at 10-1. That might be something to look at. 33-1 at 3-3 is something I think could definitely happen. Each of these teams getting multiple goals. Let's see. Antonio plus 230 for a goal. Harvey Barnes plus 200. James Madison plus 220. Not bad. Pablo Fornals plus 390. Declan Rice plus 500. So there's any kind of number of angles of goal scorers. I wish some of these would pay a little bit more, but they won't, because I think the book's telling you right there that we are probably in the mood for a lot of goals. Let's see, over 4.5 goals in this game is because this could be a 3-2 game if we don't get that 3-3 tie. Let's see. Over 4.5 is plus 330. Over 5.5 plus 770. Those two numbers are low for those circumstances. So they are expecting goals for sure with Leicester and West Ham. I think you're going to see all kinds of crazy scores today, people. You can put any kind of ridiculous numbers that you want on these games and try some round robins, and maybe you can get lucky. I know the correct score one that I did, I took 7 games, and I couldn't even bet the 5, 6, or 7 for 10 cents because the payout was so big. So I only had the 3s and the 4s available on that parlay. Let's see. Man United and Fulham, 11:30. Minus 230 for Man United at home. Fulham plus 500. The draw plus 390. This is the one upset I'd be wary of. It's not like Man United blows out teams, except they did win 4-1 the other day. That's the first time they've done that all year. And they've been able to get blown out once or twice. But Fulham has been a nice team. Now that they have Mitrovic back, let's take a look at him for a prop, to be honest. Is he in there? Let's make sure Mitrovic is in there. Yep, Alexander Mitrovic will be playing. Carlos Vinicius is out. So that'll be interesting for Fulham. He usually plays, so he must be banged up a little bit. Let's see. Is Man United, what kind of team are they putting out there? Marcus Rashford will be out there. Bruno Fernandes will be out there. Jadon Sancho will be out there. On the bench, Anthony Martial, McTominay. That's not odd at this point. Harry Maguire is out there. So Man United is actually putting out a team. Will they go to the bench early? I don't know. This could be a competitive game here. This might be the one that I'm not going to say there are going to be goals at, because Man United just doesn't really play that way, and Fulham kind of hasn't either. But I could see this being 2-1 either way. And I could see Fulham actually getting the upset here. Anytime goal scorer, I feel less about it now that I see the lineup. Let's see. Anytime goal scorer, Rashford's minus 105, Mitrovic plus 175, Casemiro plus 480 is a good price for him. Harry Wilson plus 360, Harry Maguire plus 700. Is Maguire out there? Yep, he's out there. That's not a bad price for Harry Maguire. But I'm going to take a look at Fulham just on the outright win, just because I'm priced in, I feel like, more than anything. That's plus 500, 5-1 odds for them to win 2-1. 1-0 even could be the score. This is the one game I'm not comfortable with a lot of goals. So we'll look at Mitrovic for a goal at plus 175, but I'm going to take Fulham at the plus 500. Can Mitrovic score twice? That would be the other question I got. I think that he can. To score 2 or more goals in this game, Mitrovic is plus 850. So we might have to take a spin with that one. All right, this is our last game, and then we'll go ahead and do a quick review, and then we'll wrap up the last Friday Soccer Paycheck special Sunday edition here from the Deep End Studios in Virginia Beach, Virginia, United States of America, the U.S.'s favorite gambling show on the EPL and the English Championship. All right, last game to break down for the season. Wow, this is it. Southampton plus 500, the draw plus 400, and the guest are Liverpool minus 230. Now, this should be a slaughter. Liverpool could slaughter them. This could be the 5-6 to 7-0 game. Liverpool having fun. Southampton relegated. It depends how much salt they want to rub into the, I don't even know if wound's the right word. I would say catastrophic injury at this point. But the South Coasters and Southampton have their hands full today. And 2 or more goals for Mohamed Salah is plus 460. I think you have to take that. I don't know how you don't take that, to be honest. But Liverpool, man, you can take some 2-goal scorers today. You really can. Harry Kane, Salah. This could be an old school little parlay here. Julian Alvarez, the new scorer, we'll throw in that mix. But Liverpool, you just named the goals. I think they can get there today. I think I took a correct score of 5-0 in this game. Away team over 3.5 is plus 340. I think you can lock that in all day. I think that's a great, beautiful price. Plus 870 to get over 4.5 goals for Liverpool. This could be a bludgeoning. So beware of that. Salah, plain and simple, just take him. This even could be his last game for Liverpool, so he's going to want to put on a performance himself. But Southampton, hands full, Liverpool goals all day here. As simple as that. All right, let's go back for a quick review of everything that we like. We'll start from the top. Arsenal and the Wolves. We like the Wolves. I'm sorry. Well, we like the Wolves to maybe get 2 goals because the payout is good. But we like Arsenal to get multiple goals. We're talking 3 or 4 for sure. And I think you can take Trossard, Gabriel Jesus, or you can take Odegaard as far as anytime goal scorer or even for 2. Aston Villa all day. Their price has been, in fact, their price has come back a little bit. It was minus 130, now back to minus 120. So money coming back on Brighton here, or even on the draw, I guess maybe. But we'll go ahead and take a look at Enciso for anytime goal scorer at plus 280. Man City, Julian Alvarez is our goal scorer in this game. Maybe Phil Foden as well. And then Johan Wissa for Brentford. But lots of goals, Man City goals all day. Chelsea and Newcastle, looking for goals here. Multiple goals all day. Nice day, plenty of sunshine in the UK. And we'll look for our boy Miguel Almiron for an anytime goal, 1 goal there. Crystal Palace, Nottingham, a good day for the fans at Crystal Palace, as the home team there will look to stop a hungover Nottingham Forest team. So goals for Crystal Palace, and Eze will be our goal scorer on that note. Leeds and Tottenham. Tottenham, Harry Kane goals for sure. I don't know if Leeds scores a lot of goals, but I think Tottenham gets theirs. Plus 900 if you like Tottenham over 3.5 goals. I don't know if I'm going to go that high, but at over 2.5 at plus 3 to 1, I think that's fair game all day. Leicester and West Ham could be a super over game there. No real goal scorer. We'll pick for that. Fulham and Man United. We'll take a chance on Fulham just on the outright dog. And we'll look for Mitrovic maybe for a couple goals in that game. And Liverpool will crush Southampton. So lots of goals for Liverpool. And Mohamed Salah maybe ending his run with Liverpool on a high note, as we expect him to find the back of the net a couple of times as well. He's in great form too, by the way. So goals for Salah. All right, we got some picks up on the Twitter. Nephew Dave has them. I do, at deepend757. This has been fun. The Paycheck's been a good show. I don't know how many gambling shows there are in the United States about the English Premier League and English Championship. I've looked. I can't find any. So as far as I know, this is the only one. And if you've been tuning in, hopefully you've been having some fun learning a little bit about soccer. And we'll pick it up where we left off here in August. When we get to the start of the season, we'll do a preview show. We'll try to get better at everything that we do down the road here. More guests. We'll link some people in on the live stream through the web, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think as far as a good first season goes, I've had a lot of fun doing this show. I look forward to doing more and bringing original, unique content for all of you people to enjoy, if that's your poison. Okay, so let's win some cash. Go check out our tickets at deepend757.com on the Twitter. Nephew Dave has something on there. I got my plays as well. I just gave you everything. But this has been fun, guys. This has been a lot of fun, and we will go ahead and get on out of here. We got just about 8 minutes to kick off for the English Premier League, so we'll let you get settled down with your bets and your plays, and we'll take you out with the Tottenham fans. All right, guys. Thank you. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. Signing off for now. We will be back in August. I'm Stephen Murray. This is the Deep End Broadcasting Network, deepend757.com. You guys have a good, safe summer, soccer fans, and we will see you down the road.